very tired, upset. We're hoping for the best, you know. We'd rather know where she is than not. You know, hopefully they'll find her.
We're hanging up posters. My sister, she's been missing.
We caught up with Halbach's brother Mike as he handed out flyers in Kellnersville. He says although his sister's disappearance is tough on the family, they haven't given up hope.
My hope is I give someone a poster and they say, you know, I saw her at this time on Monday. I saw her on Tuesday, you know, and all of a sudden we come across, I think I saw her on Wednesday. And all of a sudden it brings us up to today where someone saw her.
Interestingly, one of the last people known to have seen Halbach was Stephen Avery, the Manitowoc County man who spent nearly 2 decades in prison for a rape he did not commit. Halbach was at Avery's house near Mishicot, photographing a minivan Avery's selling.
Took a picture of it and wrote down the serial number and everything.
When you saw her on Monday, did she seem any different than the times you'd seen her before?
No, I don't think so. Always normal.
And now he, like so many, is wondering what happened to Teresa Halbach.
If we could do a search, you know, we would, but we don't know where she went after her last stop. So.
The concerns were not about me. I didn't do nothing.
Police have interviewed Avery 3 times this week, twice at his trailer home that sits right in front of the gravel pit where Avery says police told him they found Teresa Halbach's car. Then after the discovery Saturday, detectives met up with Avery again, this time in Crivets at a family home.
Oh, they just ran by it again and see what time she was there and everything else. And
during this latest interview with police, Avery told them he recalled seeing taillights on his property on Thursday night, and his brother saw headlights Friday night.
I took the flashlight out of the flatbed, and I looked, but I didn't see nothing, you know. So I left because I don't like it in my backyard because it's just too close. You know, I'm trying to settle down, and I ain't in no trouble or no nothing, and now all of this stuff happens.
Avery's no stranger to law enforcement. He served 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. He tells me he's trying to help the same police departments that put him in jail more than 2 decades ago. And once again, he's feeling more and more like a suspect.
There's something, I don't know, it's strange. Why am I seeing these taillights and my brother's seeing these headlights by him? Something don't match. I don't know if Manitowoc County's trying to set me up again or what. I don't know. I'm puzzled.
It's been nearly 1 week since Teresa Halbach stopped by Stephen Avery's house in Manitowoc County to take a picture of his van for an auto magazine. Now that Halbach is missing and her car turned up on the property of Avery's family, Avery says police are focusing on him.
I think it seems like I'm the suspect.
While police continue to search the Avery property, Avery says police have also seized his car and a flatbed truck from the auto salvage yard. The man who spent 18 years in prison after being wrongly convicted of rape says he feels like police are out to get him.
I think Manitowoc is trying to set me up real good because they're taking everything. They don't seem like they found anything by me because there ain't nothing.
If Mr. Avery feels this way, he is mistaken.
Calumet County Sheriff Jerry Poggle says Avery's accusations are flat out not true.
Everybody is a person of interest at this particular time. Stephen Avery is no more a suspect or a person of interest than anybody else at this particular time.
An investigator with the Manitowoc County Sheriff's Department says the investigation involves several agencies, in part because of the connection to Avery.
It's just not true, and that's why we're also working as a joint effort in case that would be brought up.
While police say Avery has been very cooperative with them, Avery says that will change. Now that he's at his family's cabin in Crivets, he says police are still watching him.
Yeah, they've been watching us. They've been sitting up in the driveway, but I'm done talking to them. I told everybody not even say nothing no more. I talked to my lawyer, and he agrees with it.
Avery says he hopes Halbach is found soon so her family can have their daughter back and he can get back to his life. Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.
There's other evidence that may have various degrees of evidentiary value that have certainly been recovered that are being analyzed at this time.
From what I could see, about 100 people walking shoulder width apart and starting from 147 and heading for the line fence by Avery's.
We're kind of trying to, cover as much area as we can as good as possible and as accurately as possible. I mean, we're slowly sweeping over the areas, looking for anything that might be a possible lead or anything that could, give the investigators a tip to what's going on.
Trying to nail me again, so they don't have to pay all of this money out for the lawsuit and everything else, and this way I probably wouldn't get nothing. I ain't got nothing to do with that. She took the picture, she left, she was on a highway. I don't know nothing. I don't know how the vehicle got there. There's 3-4 ways to get in there. If anybody can get in there, go somewhere else and search, because I ain't got nothing by me. Just leave me alone, leave my family alone, so we can start all over again. So it'll be all good.
The longer you wait, the more you start to worry. But with our faith, we're staying strong. We truly believe that Teresa's still going to come home to us. My stopping grounds are in short.
Mark mentioned, on Saturday at about 2 p.m., Judge Fox of Manitowoc County appointed me
Stephen Avery is used to spending time at his family's salvage yard, but for the last 3 days he's been at his family's cabin outside of Crivets, while investigators continue to search for Teresa Hallbach.
I hope she shows up soon, so then it'll be all over with.
Avery says since police are spending so much time at the salvage yard, he's convinced they're out to get him. But investigators say that's not the case.
There's absolutely nothing of a vendetta, all right?
Police say the attention on the Avery property is because Avery is one of the last people to see Hallbach, and her car was found on the family's property.
How do you think her car ended up on that property?
Somebody planted it there. Here's my place.
Avery drew us a map of the property and says it would be easy for someone to drive a car onto it.
So you can drive in anywhere on there?
Yeah, anywhere in here.
He says last Thursday he did see some suspicious taillights on the property. After he spent 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, Avery says the thought of being investigated by police haunts him. But he says he has nothing to hide.
I worry about every minute. I look out the window, is there a squad car here? Are they going to pick me up? When are they going to pick me up? When I'm sleeping, are they going to come in? I always got that fear.
But you had nothing to do with this?
No. I would never do nothing like that.
Avery says in time, police will see that once again, he's innocent. In the meantime, he has a message for police.
Leave me alone. Let me live my life. Quit picking on the Averys.
But investigators say they're simply doing their job by trying to find a missing person. In Marinette County, Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.
Evidence which we feel is significant to the investigation has been discovered during the execution of the search warrants. To preserve the integrity of the investigation, I will not be disclosing what evidence has been discovered, nor will I be disclosing where the evidence was found. We have an evidence case that we have to preserve, an investigation that we have to do in the proper manner.
Sarah Kluth is on a mission, and that is to find out what happened to her friend Teresa Hallbach. I love Teresa a whole lot. And, you know, it's one thing when you read about a missing person in the paper, and it's another thing when they're actually a part of your life.
The two women were once neighbors, sharing meals and grocery shopping together while building a great friendship.
She was just incredibly genuine all the time.
Cluth joined dozens of other volunteers covering meter by meter, a section of land about 1,500 feet wide and 2 miles long, looking in places where something could be and nobody would know.
We're basically just, using our satellite maps and figuring out where the densest cover is.
Volunteers have expanded their search beyond the police barricade. Now they're focusing their efforts on the West Twin River bottoms and woods surrounding that area.
Just in hopes that, we can cover some land that either hasn't been covered or can't be seen from the air.
All right, so we're going to walk about 45 minutes south, and we'll turn around and walk 45 minutes north.
Searchers carried flags to mark any areas that might be possible leads for police to investigate. Despite the daunting task, the group remained optimistic.
We are, because it's like, if you don't, it's like you're just giving up on Teresa, and none of us would ever do that.
In Manitowoc County, Laura Smith, Fox 11 News.
They feel that the evidence that that has been collected and that they are analyzing is that of human in nature. In other words, they feel the evidence that we've collected is leading us to that of a human person.
It's very troubling. I'm completely persuaded that Stephen is entirely innocent. In 1985, when he was convicted, they used his own words against him. He is naive. He tends to be too trusting. And one of the reasons I want to talk with him is I don't want them manipulating him.
That they are finding evidence.
Michael Halbach, Teresa Halbach's brother, says he welcomes the national attention to help find his missing sister.
We need all the help we can get. We don't know what happened to Teresa Monday afternoon. She could be right under her nose. She could be across the country.
Michael Halbach was in our studio Wednesday for a live interview with Fox News Channel.
Maybe hopefully it brings some leads as to where Teresa could be, and hopefully it leads us to Teresa.
The news of the missing Calumet County woman sparked an interest with CNN Headline News' Nancy Grace. She devotes one of her national shows to profile crime victims.
This is a crime. She's not gone on a vacation. She's not on a walkabout. She hasn't just disappeared to find herself. She has been kidnapped, and I fear worse.
Teresa Halbach was last seen October 31st. Grace says from her experience covering other missing person cases, time is a factor.
The longer the disappearance, the less likely that it will be solved. The most clues are found in the first 1 to 3 days of the disappearance. Many people would argue within the first 18 hours of the disappearance.
The Halbach family has also set up a website to help in the search for Teresa.
He set up a website really as kind of a coordinating effort in terms of our searches. Instead of everyone calling our search leader, we're kind of directing them to go to the website. We're going to update that. As soon as we know information, we'll have that updated.
Whether it's internet or via satellite, Michael hopes with all of the local and national attention that his missing sister Teresa will soon be found. Chandra Carter, Fox 11 News.
Significant evidence has been discovered over the past 24 hours at the Avery Salvation.
After about a week of searching for Teresa Halbach, investigators found evidence they call human in nature on the Avery family property in Larrabee.
In other words, they feel the evidence that we've collected is leading us to that of a human person.
The evidence is being analyzed at the state crime lab with results expected as soon as tomorrow. Also Wednesday, police arrested Stephen Avery for possession of a firearm by a felon. Avery was convicted of burglary back in the early 80s, but the Avery family says the guns are not Stephen's, instead belong to the man who owns his trailer. Investigators, though, say one gun has the name Steve taped onto it.
I felt uncomfortable allowing that individual to remain on the street.
Special Prosecutor Ken Krantz says police ordered Avery and his 2 brothers, his sister, his parents, and his 2 nephews to take a DNA test, calling them all persons of interest.
That DNA material includes blood and saliva. It also includes a search for fingerprints and palm prints.
Search warrants were also executed Wednesday, and authorities plan on issuing more on the Avery family property as they try to figure out what happened to Teresa Halbach. In Manitowoc County, Jay Olstad, Fox 11 News.
It's very troubling. I'm completely persuaded that Stephen is entirely innocent. You know, in 1985, when he was convicted, they used his own words against him. He is naive. He tends to be too trusting. And one of the reasons I want to talk with him is I don't want them manipulating him.
Why did they pick on the Averys?
Stephen Avery's mother says she thinks her son and the family are being set up.
Do you think Stephen or anybody in the Avery family had anything to do with this?
No, they did not.
As investigators continue to search the Avery salvage yard, Dolores Avery says it's been a difficult few days.
Stressed out, you can't even sleep at night. Get 2-3 hours of sleep a night since last week already. I feel like a walking zombie already.
Wednesday afternoon, Dolores was at her son Earl's house in the town of Gibson. Stephen was also there. Then police showed up.
They said, we want to talk to Stephen. I said, he's on the phone.
After Avery was taken into custody, investigators from the State Justice Department came to the home with warrants to get DNA samples from several family members, including Avery's mother.
I said, why do I have to go for anything? That don't make sense.
It's nonsense.
Stephen's sister-in-law, Candy, says she's convinced the family is innocent and believes someone's trying to set them up.
Everybody in the nation knows, well, he lives at the junkyard. What better place to dump a vehicle? And let him get the rap for it.
Even though police say they found a significant amount of evidence at the salvage yard, Dolores Avery says no one in her family did anything wrong.
They say they found that car there, and they said they found some kind of
maybe
evidence.
Somebody planted it there, maybe. Maybe one of them.
A familiar response from the mother of a man who already spent 18 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. And Dolores just wants to make sure it doesn't happen again. In the town of Gibson, Robert Hornacek, Fox 11 News.
As you know.
Okay, nope, just go up a little bit, back out at the same side, see if we see anything of interest.
Area next to it was taped.
There's different sections that are taped, and I think they did that